of massage. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Sorry, I'm a bit late. It took me just a bit longer than I expected to make it out your way, but I'm happy to inform you that I'm here to perform an in-home chiropractic adjustment. You are the one that scheduled the appointment for, let me actually just, a Psyduck, right? Alright, perfect. So, in our records, we show that we have treated your Psyduck once before. Alright, perfect. I'm glad that we have an up-to-date file. It's always a pain when things are not charted properly. Okay, so let's see what we have. It shows here that we are treating your Psyduck for chronic headaches. Is that correct? Okay, and for an estimate, how long has that been a problem for your Psyduck? Really? Okay. Okay, and have you tried any over-the-counter treatments or holistic approaches? Okay, so a bit of both. Are there any things that seem to help alleviate that headache more than others? Okay, cool compress is perfect. Any heat? No, heat makes it worse. Alright. Alright. And are there any other ailments or conditions that we should be aware of before we begin the chiropractic adjustment? Alright, so otherwise good health. Great. And level? Perfect. And last thing, can you just please confirm the last 4 of your trainer ID, please? Thank you. Alright, so your Psyduck is already ready for the adjustment here. Perfect. Well, then we will get right to it. Please show me to your Psyduck and I'll see to it that it gets the best treatment possible. Alright. Well, good news is that your Psyduck seems to be sleeping very soundly, which is always a great sign for a Pokemon with any small, minor, or even more serious ailment. So, if the sleep is disturbed, then that's usually a sign that it's a bit more serious than just a minor headache. So, I'm just going to perform a few relaxing maneuvers here that usually do the trick for Psyduck. The small amount of hair that a Psyduck does have on the top of its head usually causes a great deal of relaxation. So we're just going to make sure that it remains calm. Should do the trick. Of course, the cranium area is usually the sign or the site of most Psyduck discomfort reported to our clinic, so we'll get that taken care of. No, don't worry, this won't wake your Psyduck. This relaxation will only further its sleep. Alright, so that should be good. Let's just continue with just a bit of face massage. Just ensuring that slightly pull out on that ball and socket joint. 3, 2, 1. And once again. 3, 2, 1. And let's move to the other side here. So what that's going to do is that's going to start to unwind some of that tension that works its way into the neck. The shoulder joints there work in tandem with the neck muscles and the upper spine. So if they become tightened and they begin to pull at that spinal cord, which then pulls downward on that neck like so, and it just creates a bit of friction and static within those muscles that is really uncomfortable and irritating to the skeletal system as a whole. So let's now move up into that neck. I just want to kind of assess. Oh, yes. That poor thing. That neck is very stiff, as you can see, as I try to move that neck toward you. We are getting just a bit of resistance. Once again, a lot of resistance. Let's try that other side. Pulling it towards me. Yes, there's a lot of resistance there. So we're going to work those first two adjustments toward the sides there. We're just going to get a bit of movement and then adjust laterally. 3, 2, 1. And there we are. Ensuring that we are very gentle when returning it to that neutral position. 3, 2, 1. And back to neutral. There we are, Psyduck. 3, 2, 1. And perfect. Okay. Let's go that other direction now. 3, 2, 1. And back to neutral. Good. 3, 2, 1. And I know these sound a bit aggressive, but 3, 2, 1. I assure you that they are quite necessary. The relaxation caused by those joint movements is exponential and extremely beneficial to your Psyduck's health and sleep. As you can see, it hasn't even begun to wake up, so you can tell that it's extremely relaxed. Just a bit of massage there. Now, let's get a bit more heavy-handed with some of these adjustments. As you can see, that movement is beginning to become a bit more fluid. Now, 3, 2, 1. I know some of those double adjustments can be quite intense. 3, 2, 1. Let me just check. Yeah, those vertebrae are still quite inflamed around the joints in between. Of course, the vertebrae themselves can't be inflamed, but they can house a lot of inflammation in those small joint areas. 3, 2, 1. Let's adjust here. I'm just going to lift the head and see how those muscles in the back of the neck, the back of the shoulders are varying. Alright, so we're beginning to make a bit of progress. Now let's actually get some extension of those joints. As your neck begins to lean forward, it actually opens up the space in those vertebral joints there in between each of the vertebrae. It opens it up and allows those muscles to stretch. So let's get a few of those adjustments. 3, 2, 1. And just keep movement fluid. 3, 2, 1. Good, good, good. 3, 2, 1. And once again, let's just massage the back of those muscles, the back of the neck, just ever so slightly, to make sure that that relaxation really takes hold and seeps its way into the body. Good. Alright. Now, next, we're going to get just a bit of a twisting motion. 3, 2, 1. There we are. Good, just cradling that cranium just ever so slightly. 3, 2, 1. Good, let's see how that's feeling there. That's getting a bit better. 3, 2, 1. Good, 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 good. And now the other direction. Yes, there's a lot of tension right there. 3, 2, 1. That's really starting to melt away now. 3, 2, 1. I know it can be just a bit, can carry just a bit of discomfort initially, but your Psyduck is going to wake up feeling completely rejuvenated, and you never know, might even trigger an evolution to Golduck. 3, 2, 1. Good. Oh, of course, I never mind to make a house call. Sometimes Pokemon are in such discomfort, like with a headache. Who really likes to travel with a headache? So I don't mind to make a pit stop at the location of a Pokemon, especially if they are too ill to travel. So not a problem at all. Your property here is lovely anyway, so a nice little vacation. So let's continue. What we're going to do now is we're just going to try to rotate your Psyduck just a bit. I'm going to gently rotate. These Psyduck are always just a bit heavier than they appear, and just lifting like so, and back. Okay, so now we're just going to try to work on the feet just a bit. These almost duck-like flipper style feet are quite short and compact, so sometimes they carry just a bit of inflammation, so we're going to do a similar adjustment that we did, or as we did with the arm. So just a bit of a tug and a pop. 3, 2, 1. And those shorter legs still need as much treatment as some of your more taller Pokemon, or Pokemon that carry a lot more weight on their legs. 3, 2, 1. Good, good. Once again, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And let's just a bit more. All right. 3, 2, 1. There we are. Another. 3, 2, 1. Good. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. All right. Let's get your Psyduck back to a traditional position. Okay. So now I'm just going to reevaluate some of those neck muscle areas, see how we're feeling there, and let's retest that. Oh yes, look at that mobility. Look how much more movement we have there. That is absolutely looking better. Although I am feeling a bit of tension right there in that area. So I'm going to try just a bit more of an advanced maneuver here. So I'm going to try to rotate your Psyduck ever so slightly, just like so. That way I can get a good amount of support. We're then going to try to get a good adjustment here. Alright. Hang in there, Psyduck. To get those really tricky areas of inflammation, sometimes it takes a bit more force. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Alright, once again, it's amazing how your Psyduck has remained asleep during this entire appointment. Really impressive. 3, 2, 1. And a bit of massage. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's massage that out. How are we feeling there? Good. Good. Very relaxed. Yes, this side might need one. There we are, right there. 3, 2, 1. One more, I'm afraid. 3, 2, 1. Alright, that is feeling much better. Okay. Your Psyduck is definitely a healthy weight. I will say that. Okay, so let's just test the tension. I can feel the tension in that cranium area has really melted away. I'm assuming that the headache is really starting to ease. I'm just going to test out the tension in that cranium. Sometimes you can tell if the skin and muscles surrounding the head, if they are inflamed and tense, sometimes that can be a great indicator that that headache has remained. But I'm happy to inform you that I think your Psyduck's headache has most likely dissipated greatly. Now I know it's kind of a double-edged sword because of its loss of a bit of its psychic power when the headache has weakened, but let's not underestimate the negative effect that a headache can have if prolonged too long. So it's best to take care of it in a timely manner, especially if you're not battling. So just a bit more of that massage. Good. Just check that neck area. Alright, I think your Psyduck should be in good shape now, so if you'd like to head back to the front and let your Psyduck rest, we can get checked out and I can get on my way. Alright, I'll see you back in the front room. Okay. Well, hopefully your Psyduck's headache is gone for good. I'm just going to make a few notes of some of the adjustments that we performed. Okay. The Psyduck, that is, remained asleep throughout the entire appointment. That's a good sign. Okay, so I'm going to actually prescribe just a bit of natural mint berry for your Psyduck. Yeah, it can actually help with some of that headache from time to time, so we'll get that sent out via carrier Pidgey. And good. Can you just please confirm the address here? Okay. 5-2, perfect. And excellent. Should be here within 3 to 5 business days. If not, please just give our office a call and ask for me, and I'll see to it that that is rectified. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and book you for an appointment. Let's say next month on how's the 12th sound? Alright, we'll see if we have an opening. We do have an opening on the 12th. What time works best for you? Evenings? Evenings, okay. Let's plan for maybe 6 o'clock. Excellent. Alright, and would you care for that confirmation to be sent to your PokeGear? Perfect. Not a problem, that's actually the easiest method for us as well. Okay, well, it's been a pleasure to serve you and visit your lovely place here, so please give me a call if anything goes wrong with that Psyduck or if its headache returns, and please keep me posted on its status. Well, it was wonderful meeting you, and please have a great rest of your evening. Take care.